is open. We have chips, candy, fresh popcorn, prepackaged donuts, muffins, things like that to snack on. And there's also drinks. We have soda, water, coffee, hot chocolate, and adult beverages. There's red and white wine, ice cold foreign domestic beer, champagne, mimosas, cocktails, the maniac of a Bloody Mary. We got margaritas, Mai Tais, all sorts of good stuff. We got Irish cream and peanut butter whiskey to go in those coffees and hot chocolates. If you guys want anything, just go see the crew. Cash or card is accepted. Please keep in mind though, if you guys bought snacks from home or if you end up purchasing something from the galley, those have to be consumed outside in the fresh air. We're just like every other restaurant and bar here in Orange County. We cannot have any sort of indoor dining or drinking. We apologize for the inconvenience, but we are very strictly regulated by the Orange County Health Department, and that is their stance on the indoor dining and drinking. So you guys are welcome to sit in the galley and hang out, but you cannot eat or drink in there. Also, face coverings, face masks are required throughout the duration of the trip, just like they have been since June when we started running our trips again. Please make sure that those are being worn. Obviously, we understand if you guys get something to snack on or something to drink throughout the trip, you're going to have to take things down to enjoy your snacks and beverages. That's fine. But outside of actively taking a bite of your food or sipping your drink, the face coverings do need to be on. Under normal circumstances, this boat runs with 102 passengers. That's what we're rated for through the United States Coast Guard, and that's our certificate of inspection. We are still technically legally allowed to carry 102, but here at Davies Locker, we've taken measures of self-imposed limits on our capacity. The very most that we'll take out is 65, even though that 102 mark is still what is legal. So we're doing that to keep everybody safe and have room on the boat so that you guys are comfortable. It does get crowded on the upper deck every single trip, no matter how many people we have. If you're too crowded upstairs, there's a lot more room on the main deck on the lower level. We're the only whale watching boat in the whole fleet that has bench seating that runs along the entire main cabin on that lower level. So the way this boat is designed, it allows us to carry people very well. But again, it can get a little crowded on the upper deck, especially if we find something. You guys will want to make sure that you have real space. There's a lot more real space available on that lower deck. But wherever you're comfy, that's fine with us. We do have some regular safety items to go over here as well as required by the Coast Guard. That's the location of the life-saving equipment. Life jackets are located downstairs inside the galley underneath the seat cushions. Life rafts are right head above the wheelhouse. There are 2 man-overboard throw rings on the upper deck, one on either side of the wheelhouse cabin. Also one on the lower deck towards the back of the boat. There's 5 fire extinguishers on board, 1 up here in the wheelhouse, 3 in the galley compartment, and 1 in our forward room. There's a fixed fire system in the engine room, also an e-curve up above the wheelhouse. We have no intentions of using the life-saving equipment, but the Coast Guard does require. It'll let you know of its location in case of an emergency. Parents, if you have little ones with you, please make sure they do not roam around the boat unattended. Wherever they go, you must go as well. That's for safety reasons. There's absolutely no running, no jumping, no sitting on the handrails, no standing on the benches. Keep both feet on the deck at all times. That's for your safety. The ladder, the staircase is up forward in the very front of the boat. You're welcome to go up and down the stairs at any point throughout the trip. But when you do come upstairs and we're going to hang out and stand up here, there's a little red line that's painted on the ground right by the doors where I'm driving the boat.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to be behind the red line. Yeah, be behind the red line.
Going up and down only. That means no illegal drugs or outside alcohol of any kind. We do not tolerate any drug use or outside alcohol. It's very rare that we have any problems with that. But it is part of my responsibility as a captain to inform you of the zero tolerance policy held aboard all paid passenger carrying vessels that's carried out through the Coast Guard. If you have anything like that, please keep it put away. That's about it for the logistics, safety features on board. A little bit about the dolphin and whale watching. This is our first trip of the day. It's a brand new adventure. We'll get out here and see what we can find. Pretty much everything that we look for this time of year that we have the potential of seeing is here based off of a food source, primarily sardines and anchovies and bait fish. And this, as we approach wintertime here and towards January, there is a chance for some early season gray whale. gray whales tend to stick very close to the shoreline. They're coastal navigators. So for a portion of this trip, we may be looking in pretty shallow to the beach, and that's going to be our best chance at seeing a whale is in close to the shore. I know a lot of people think you got to go out into the middle of the ocean to try and find a whale, but that's not the case, especially with gray whales. So we're going to kind of develop a game plan here once we talk to a couple boats that are out right now and see what we can do. Dolphins have been somewhat consistent, but again, with everything needing food to be in the area, with the exception of potential gray whale, every trip's different. The ocean changes from day to day, trip to trip, hour to hour. There's a lot of turnover, and things are always moving around trying to find those potential food sources. So all we can do is get out here and look. We don't use any sonar, radar equipment for whale watching. That does not work. Everything that we do is done with our vision. Binoculars are our best friends out here, so we look for certain signs of life. We look for the big whales, what's called a blow or a spout. Looks like a big puff of steam or a puff of smoke that comes off the water. That's when the whales are coming up for a breath. On their exhale, they create that big spout. That's how we find basically all of our major ships from that spout. For the dolphins, it's a little different. We're looking for any sort of big splashes on the water. The dolphins, when they're traveling, they can jump out of the water, make big splashes, and we can see those from a couple miles away, depending on the visibility in our binoculars. So that's what we look for with them. And birds can be a big help too. We're not talking about a couple birds here and there sitting on the water. We want to find a feeding frenzy out here. We want to find hundreds of birds that are kind of all in the same spot, hovering above the water and diving into the water. That means that there's probably a food source around, so bait fish. And that's usually where you're going to find the larger cetaceans like dolphins, possibly whales. So those are kind of the telltale signs that we look for out here. There are a couple other boats, which is good because that means we have coverage. It's a big ocean. When you're the only boat out, it makes it a little bit more difficult. I'll be working with them either on the radios or the cell phones, and we'll see if we can all work together here and round something up. If you guys have any questions or concerns throughout the trip, please be sure to ask them through. We're here to help. Again, my name is Mike. I'm the driver for here today. Tanner and Angela are the crew members. They're in the alley. If you guys want to snack up or something to drink, go see them. But other than that, kick back, enjoy the night, welcome aboard, and we'll get out here and try and find ourselves some animals. Here we go. Staying upstairs, you got to be back behind the red line. You can go up or down, but that's the area in front of the windows needs to be clear. Thank you.